Hello and welcome to Solar Enterprises with Akwande. I'm so excited to be here to be talking about solar prices. Yeah, last week, we jumped on what's your budget for solar, and the idea for what's your budget for solar is to get you into understanding some of the nitty gritties of solar energy, and not just the nitty gritties. Give you an alternative to solar energy actually, and I explained some of those things. And if you don't want to actually check that out, the video is still online. What's your budget for solar, and you can actually go check it out to get like a brief, an overview of what renewable energy is as a whole. And the reason I actually made that video was because I realized that people think that there are still some people that they hear you talk about solar energy and they think, yeah, this is jargon. And it came from my own experience also, because there were places that I went to, and when they were talking, and I was like, what is actually happening here? I couldn't understand um, the things they were talking about, because it was not my space. And yeah, it was my space as at that time, but it was higher knowledge of what beyond what I actually knew. So I know that there's a lot of people that know what solar is, and they still don't know like some of the basics. When you're talking to people and they're like, "Is it not just the solar panel that you're going to get?" And you know, I'm wondering, is the solar panel going to provide the power for you? So there are many other equipments. There are even times that people don't know that you have to like use cables for some of these things and stuff. So I talked about some of those things, and I made a mistake in that video. I was talking about 100 meter of cable. I think for the 4 mm cable is around 300 and something thousand naira. So 100 meter of 4 cable, and this is not even the, what is it called, the two cores. This is like just one core for cable. It's like around 300 and something thousand naira. So it's like really really high. So there are many other things. It now depends on what your budget is actually. Yeah, like and I mentioned it in one of my videos that solar energy, for solar batteries and many other of all these equipment, some of the prices have actually come down, especially for batteries in most of these countries, where they're actually manufactured. But when you come to the Nigerian space, it's still high up there, because of the inflation. There's the rise in the dollar and stuff like that, and that's the reason for solar prices actually, to give you like an idea of what these prices are in the market. So it's not just for other countries like you would expect. It's for our own country. What are the distributors that we have here and stuff? So I can put in a lot of batteries and solar systems and stuff like that, but for some of this equipment, I'm not the biggest fan. And what I've realized is many times that people come to my channel, they want to hear me talk about something in the concept of, okay, this is what I am currently talking about, and this is what is actually good, and good for you. And what I don't want people to make the mistake of is going out there to buy something that was not eventually going to work for them, and they say, it was Solar with Akonde that, told them about it. You can make your research. And the idea for this is to just give you like an overview, like an idea of what you can actually go out to buy. If you're looking for lead acid batteries, there are many stores in Nigeria that sell lead acid batteries. Just make sure that you're going to the right store, you're going to the right person that knows about these things, and, that can give you some ideas on the battery and how long it's going to last, warranty, and many stuff like that. So just really watch out when you're actually buying some of this equipment, and be sure that you're actually getting the good one. For me, what I push out here are top tier equipment, and for me, it gives me peace, and it helps me to sleep at night, knowing that I'm putting out something that is actually really really good. So yeah, that's the idea for solar prices actually. And today I'll be talking a little bit about solar generators. Solar generators, which is still like me going back to what's your budget for solar. So solar generators are portable type of reliable power. So you can use a solar generator in cases where you cannot afford the big type of solar equipment. So what a solar generator will do for you is it has a solar panel, so you can charge your batteries. And I'm going to put a picture up in this video, so that you can actually see what the solar generator looks like. You can charge the battery with solar. It's just a very portable device. It now depends on what your actual power is in the house that you actually want to use it for. I talk to people in the tech space sometimes, and most of them have that need to use laptops, to use their like little appliances, maybe like their fans and appliances, like maybe one TV, one fan, laptop, and yeah, something like that. So there are portable devices that can actually power those loads without any stress, and they come with really good warranties if you actually look out for them. I think the budget for some of those things now are around for like a, let's say, a 300 watt, 400 watts, you can still get it for like 700,000, 500,000. It now depends on from 500,000 upwards. So that's like the idea. Solar is not cheap, and that's one thing that that's one fundamental thing that you should actually really understand, that solar is not actually cheap. And it's because of the rise in the dollar. Some of these things, there was a time I was making some of these things, and I think the price for the portable power that I had then was around 350,000 naira. It got really crazy because when they started increasing, I had to stop because it was too expensive, and even when it was at 350,000 naira, I was not making like a lot of money from it because people thought it was quite expensive, and that was like just last year. And if I'm going to make those same, if those portable power stations are going to go into the market now, it's nothing less than 600 and something or 700,000 naira. So what I've realized is many people don't actually go, because it has like a 100 amp hour lithium battery, LiFePO4 battery. Many people won't actually go for it because it's way more expensive, and it does not manufacturing in Nigeria is not very interesting. It's not as interesting as you would actually want it to be. That's a whole lot of cost on my own end, and not me putting it out there. Like that's a whole lot. So is this something I'm still interested in? Yes, maybe if there's a little bit of what is it called now, balance in this old inflation thing, then I can actually go back to the drawing board and look at it and say, okay, yes, this is something I still want to create and make and stuff. But currently, it's crazy. And that's for portable power stations, solar generators. They have solar power, and for some of them, you can still, most of them, you can still charge, with the grid. That's if there's no sunlight, you can still charge it with the grid. So it's something that you can actually just go for in case if you don't have access to buy, you don't have enough funds to buy some of these other equipments and put up like a solar panel and everything and stuff like that. So today I'll be sharing you some of the prices. I want to hit the road running. But one other thing I would say, maybe I'll just like give you like an idea for a 1 kVA. I know you can still get a 1 kVA solar system, complete system. That's if you're using tubular batteries. So I'm at the stage now where I don't criticize some of these batteries, and because there's a lot of grid. The grid is always collapsing. People don't have power, and people have businesses that they want to run and stuff like that. And though these batteries will not last as long, it's still something that you can actually use. And that's one thing, that one very, very fundamental thing I will actually, put out there, that it's still something that you can actually use. So you can get it for like around 800,000 naira or 750,000 naira, depends on the installer that you're actually getting. Maybe something very little, maybe like a 200 amp hour, 12 volts battery, and the charge controller and so many other things, like the solar, maybe like 2 solar panels, depending on the power rating and stuff. For a 2 kVA, it keeps going up from there. So the minimum budget that I would say you should have for something really small is like 750,000 to 800,000. At that rate, it's still something to look out for. Something to that you can actually still say, yeah, this is okay in a little bit. All right, so let's jump into some of the prices that we have for today. I won't take you through the summary. If you want to know about the summary, please go and check out my other videos, and you can get a summary of why we do what we do here. So for Era Solar, for this week, we have the 400 watts mono. It's at 123,000 naira. It's 307 naira per watt. This is JA Solar. For JA Solar, we have JA Solar at 118,000 naira for the 365 watts, and goes for that 323 naira per watt. I think I actually want to actually review this. So let's scrap JA Solar actually here, because the price is actually like way more than what I'm actually. I don't think I actually did the calculations very well, or check the prices very well. So let's scrap JA Solar here. And for Jinko Solar, I have the 480 watt for 138,000 naira. That's 287 naira per watt. And that's why I said let's scrap this, because it's way higher. And for the Canadian Solar, we have the 550 watts for 165,000 naira. You can go check it out. Also, it's 300 naira per watt. And the Expert inverter, we have the Expert MKS2 5 kilowatts. Very good inverter at 850,000 naira. So you can actually go check that out also. Expert is one of those inverters that has, like many OEMs. There's the Voltronic, I think it's Expert. There's Voltronic. There's, if you see the Genex, if you see the iPower, those are like OEMs of the Expert inverter. We have the Deye inverter. The Deye 5 kilowatts is for 1,850,000 naira. You can actually go check that out. It's a pretty amazing inverter. I've talked about it in my past video, one of presentation I did with Odyssey. You can actually go look for that also. I'll put the description in this video so you can actually check it out. I hope I remember. All right, so for the Growatt 5 kilowatt inverter, it's 840,000 naira. You can actually go check out the Growatt also, 840,000 naira. Pretty amazing inverter. I've not, it's one inverter that I know that, I've not actually seen many issues with. Yeah, so there was one recently where the customer had some issues. I think there was lightning and in the house and stuff like that. I think it affected the inverter a little bit. It affected the communication side. I can't really tell how that was actually fixed, at this point. But if I get those information, and if you want to actually know, I can get it back to you. But it's one amazing inverter that if everything is set properly, if everything is done right, it's actually going to work properly and work well. Good inverter. And the Solis also, I've talked about some of the specs. It's a 5 kilowatts. The PV is 5,500 watts. Goes for 960,000 naira, and you can go check that out. And we have the SRNE 5.12 kilowatts for 1,870,000 naira. And you can go check that out. And some of you asked for some of the batteries that you can actually go check out for tubular batteries. So at this stage, I've started to see some improvement with lead acid batteries. I feel like they've been able to an extent perfect some of the technologies, and some of the technologies are actually pretty okay, and I can actually have my name at their back and say, yeah, these guys are pretty good. For the Luminous, I've always known the Luminous, and it's a really, really good tubular battery. I don't know what reason you would actually need a tubular battery in this case. If you're looking at something really small, for example, the Luminous 220 amp hour tubular battery goes for 475,000 naira. And I think with the Luminous, one thing that is pretty basic is because of high demand, especially because of high demand. When there's demand, the value has actually gone up because of demand, and that's one pretty amazing thing that you must also look out for. Not like it's the best tubular battery in the world, or because it's expensive, people feel like it's pretty great. It's great. I don't know if it's super great. Like, yeah. So for the Luminous 220 amp hour, it goes for 475,000 naira. You can go check it out. Not it goes for. All right, so it's around that price. I know guys that actually sell some of these batteries for 500,000 naira. So and 510 depends on what you're actually going for. And the Amaron Quanta, I think I bought this battery as way back as 20, it's way before 2020, around 2018, and it's one of the best batteries that is out there. It's Indian made, and it's one of the best batteries out there for solar installers, for people in the renewable energy space that knows about tubular a bit sorry dry cell batteries, lead acid batteries. This is one battery that you actually want to go out for, and it's currently at 580,000 naira. You can see it in some places for 500 for 400 and sorry 480,000 naira. You can see it in some places for 520,000 naira or more. So but it's one battery that I can tell you that is actually pretty amazing. I know someone that still uses it till date, and it has no issues with it. So, and I have most lithium 512 kilowatt goes for 1,470,000 naira, and EP 512 kilowatt lithium battery goes for 1,570,000 naira. You can see the specs there, or you can go check out the specs if you want to. And there's Alp Solar 512 kilowatt lithium battery for 1,590,000 naira. And the specs are there also. If you want to go check out the specs online, you can actually check it out. All right. I think I've come to the end of today's program, which is Solar Enterprises. So I kind of combined the two, kind of merged the two. So, what's your budget for solar and solar prices? So it's more like it's merged. So you get some of the details that you need about what your actual budget can actually be and stuff like that. And if you have basic questions, like that, you can actually ask in the comment section, and I will get back to you. I would love to hear from you. All right. Thank you very much. My name is Akonde Olawale. Cheers.